Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn love reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not, as that may be meant for someone else. All right, so we're going to get some heart-shaped romance cards, and we're going to look at what you may be struggling with, what you current energies and what you may need to look at, and we're going to look at future energies that are going to possibly come in for you. And then I felt like using my Green Witch Tarot and some clarifiers, and then close out with an oracle. If you are interested in any of the cards, there is a link down below. All right, so let's see. Love, Capricorn love. Who needs to hear a message? Okay. Struggling with surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. So you may be struggling with letting go of something. There may be something that you're holding on to. Current energies, what you may need to look at. Embrace through each other. You find the missing pieces. I love that card. Right? And then future energies, we have balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Okay, so that's for future energies. And we'll take a peek at the bottom of the deck. Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. Okay, so I feel like it may be that you may be struggling with a partnership, and that there is something that you are holding on to that is preventing you, for the two of you, to have a stronger connection and to focus on, this, right? Look deep within your heart and knowing that that person cares for you. And also that within a relationship, it's not always about agreeing for the sake of agreeing. That sometimes it's, what is that saying? We agree to disagree. And it's looking at it that way. Hold on, I have to fix my... Okay. I think that's better. All right. Sometimes we get so caught up in holding on to some energy, or we get so caught up in a particular thing that we're not even seeing the big picture. So I almost feel like these cards are saying, hey, look at the big picture. See all of the positive that you have going on within your relationship. Now, obviously, if it's a toxic relationship and there's a lot of bad things going on, that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to those relationships that you have with someone or that partner where it's a good relationship, but you're just having this disconnect. You're just having this disagreement right now. And instead of focusing on and holding on to negative energies that is affecting the relationship, that you focus on the positive things within the relationship. Sometimes we lose track of that, right? Sometimes we have to have that compromise. All right, so we have the Seven of Cups, where she's thinking about things, right? She's got some things on her mind. So there's some things that she has to think about, work on. Sometimes we're always looking at the other person instead of looking at our own actions and looking at our own feelings and looking at the energy that we're putting out. And sometimes we have to be a little more responsible or aware of those things that we are putting out. All right, we have the Crown, which is the Strength card. We have the Page of Wands. Current energies, we have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Wands. Future energies, we have the Siddhi, number 14, which is Temperance. And we have the Knight of Swords. And we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords. And we have the Nine of Cups. And I'm feeling one more. And we have the Page of Swords. And then the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. I feel like it's all about perspective and how you're looking at things and how you're looking at this relationship and the energy that you're putting out there. I almost feel like in this energy here, I feel like it's, are you looking for problems? Are you looking for... Sometimes I will admit that I self-sabotage relationships. I used to. And now I catch myself doing that because I will look for problems in a relationship, just to stir things up and to create problems. And I don't know why I did that. It could be that I was used to being in that kind of energy, and so that that was my comfort zone, so I'm trying to get myself back into that energy, but I no longer do that. And sometimes we just look for those problems. We don't even realize that we're looking for those problems. We're looking for those things that we can, that almost stir the pot with, right? And when I saw this card here, I feel like that energy is something to look at. Are you trying to find things, looking for things? Here, for what you may be struggling with, is that it could be that, sometimes when we don't feel confident within ourselves, we kind of project things, or we continue to tell ourselves and convince ourselves that we're not confident, that we're not strong, that we can't handle things, that we can't do things, that this relationship isn't going to work out, that this person's going to hurt me, that this person's going to, that they're going to eventually do something to hurt me, they're going to leave me. And if we're used to having those kind of relationships in our life, and that's always what happens when that person does come in, that stands by our side, we're not really sure how to handle that, or we're always putting ourselves in that energy. And we have to see, again, what I was saying, is that energy that we're putting out for ourselves, is what are we projecting, what are we saying? Is that person just reacting to the energy that we're putting out? I feel like with this current energy, I feel like it's working on feeling more grounded, feeling happier and more grounded in your own skin, because she looks very happy there, the Queen of Pentacles. She looks very content. She's looking up at the dove, having that peace and that hope. And she's just sitting there and she's enjoying her time. She's enjoying the now. She's enjoying on the moment. But I feel like with it being next to the Three of Pentacles, is that's what you have to work on, because otherwise we have this Nine of Wands, where are you looking for things to worry about, or that's in the negative that you really don't need to be looking at? Because he looks like he's not settled, right? He looks like he's got his hands braced. He's like, okay, what's coming at me next? What's happening next? And then for the future energies, we have the Temperance, which is patience and compromise. We have the Knight of Swords, which is that forward energy, and he's looking very happy there on his horse. We have the Page of Pentacles. Pages is young energy, and we have the Page of Swords. I feel like with those two energies, it's like now you're ready to face things, and you're ready to see things differently, that maybe before you kind of ignored those things and you said, oh no, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. But now you're ready to say, okay, let me look at what I am putting out. Let me look at those things, that energy that I'm putting out there, those things that I'm saying, those things that I'm doing. Again, with the King of Swords, he is someone who thinks about things, and he's going through all these letters. He's going through all of these things. He's learning about things. I feel like he's looking at the past, sometimes looking at those past relationships that you have and say, hey, that's kind of a pattern there. Having that self-reflection. With the crystal ball here, she can see her reflection in the crystal ball, and I feel like it's looking at yourself and looking at those actions that you're doing. And I feel like you're maybe more aware of that, and you can catch yourself. So if, as I said before, if you have that inner voice that's telling you negative things or trying to put you in negative energy, that you stop that and you say no, right? Being in the Queen of Swords energy, saying, no, I'm not going to accept that. That's not where I'm going. I'm changing things up. That I'm going to embrace the positive, that I'm going to know that my partner or this person cares about me. I'm going to know that we don't always have to agree on everything, that we can agree to disagree, that we can kind of come to that compromise, right? That we can come to that compromise, that we both feel that it works for both of us. And I feel like that's really kind of solving everything and making you feel stronger and better. But it's growth within yourself. And it's growth within the relationship, which is what I love. Because I always feel like we have to have that growth within ourselves, within a relationship too. All right, so let's get some more cards here. Looking at the opportunity, right? Looking at those things, taking that chance, not focusing on the Three of Cups, but looking towards the opportunity that's coming in for you to see things and focusing on you. Focusing on you, focusing on the energy that you are putting out, focusing on the things that you are doing, focusing on what it is you are projecting to your partner or to this person, whether this is a friend or a family member that you may be struggling with in this relationship because you're holding on to things, right? Kind of looking at, why am I holding on to things? Why am I doing things? Why am I feeling this way, right? Why do I feel that I need to look for something to stir the pot? Why do I feel that I need to do that? These are very important questions that you have to ask yourself. And it helps you to figure out why you're reacting to things. It helps you to figure out how you're feeling about things. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of that. But these are the things that have helped me to figure out, why am I reacting this way? And these are the things that I've had to ask myself. And sometimes I don't want to ask myself those things. But I found that as I'm asking myself these things and I'm learning from these things and I learn more about myself, and then it's almost like I see myself reacting to things and I'm like, no, like, and then there's another part of me that's saying, no, you shouldn't react that way, or I'm so proud of you for reacting differently than that, right? Or I'm catching myself if I'm going into the negative, and I just feel like it's more of that self-analysis, that if you feel that something's not right or that something's off, and it's being accountable for our own actions. And like I said before, is the other person reacting to the energy that we're putting out, and for us to be aware of that. Hanging in there, right? Sometimes it gets frustrating because you're like, oh, I already want to be past all this. I don't want to do this work. I don't want to work through all of this. I don't want to try and figure out how I'm feeling. Sometimes it's hard for people to do that inner work, when you're by yourself and you're taking that time and all of this stuff is bubbling up and coming out, and you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. I'm just going to forget it. I already want to be past it. But to me, I feel that it's important because it is that release, it is that letting go, and it is opening up the doors to so many new opportunities, right? More happiness and more contentment and relationships that are stronger and have more of a connection. We have the Queen of Wands, who she is definitely someone who is on fire, somebody that is strong, somebody who is, she's confident within herself, and she does not accept less than what she feels she deserves. We have the Seven of Pentacles, which I love this card because I love her smile, how content and happy she is, and kind of, again, looking at those things from the past and kind of seeing, is there some pattern here? Is there something that I'm doing, right? Is it, I reach a certain time or point in a relationship and it seems to be the same pattern that's repeating itself, and why is it repeating itself? And is it something that I'm doing? Is it something that I'm thinking? Is it something that I'm projecting? Is it some sort of energy that I'm putting out there? Do I not have contentment within myself, that I'm happy and confident within myself, right? Is that something that I need to work on? Your emotions, your feelings, your relationships, the relationship that you have with yourself, that affects the relationship that you have with others, right? How do you perceive yourself? If you were going to describe yourself, how would you describe yourself? If you were going to describe yourself to someone else, what would you say? It's just some questions to ask yourself. And you can even have a journal, right? And you can write these things down. You can write questions down and answer your questions. And then say in 5 or 6 months, ask yourself that same question as you've done this work, and ask yourself the same question and see what your answer is. And see if it's changed, and look back as to how you answered the question before, and kind of see that difference in that progress that you've made, if you're working on things, which would be pretty cool. Balancing things out, right? I also feel like that has to do with like communication and balancing things out and feeling, okay, it's not always the other person's fault, right? Balance here too. That we don't always have to agree about everything, that we can still have our own opinions and we can agree not to disagree, but also balancing things out, that, okay, not always blaming the other person, but okay, what energy am I putting out there? What am I doing, right? What are the things that I'm doing in this relationship that I need to be responsible for? The Hierophant Taurus, taking that, having that belief and that faith, but it's also about a long-term relationship and having a relationship that's very grounding, that's very sturdy, that can withstand the challenges of life and the ups and downs and those things that happen in life, and that you know that you have a strong foundation with this person within this relationship, that it can handle those times when things may become rocky. And Empress, growth, self-growth, growth within the relationship. And that's the good thing, is that makes a strong relationship, because not only are you growing independently, but you're also growing together within the relationship. All right, love it. Page of Pentacles, new feelings, new emotions. I feel like it's kind of like a new beginning, because you're doing all of this self-work and you're really looking at these things, you're looking at these problems, you're finding solutions, you're looking at actions and thoughts, right? You're surrendering the old before something new can come in. You're surrendering, holding on to past things, and you're realizing that, you know, love isn't always about agreeing, that it's supports both challenges and supports and challenges, right? Those times when you almost like you test each other, right? That you're working together to better both of you. All right, so let's grab an animal oracle card. Oh, all right, that one came flying out. We have Peacock Spirit, and that is let it shine. And I feel like that's you letting your beauty and your strength and all of those beautiful qualities that you have shine within this relationship, right? Just like she's so content and she's happy and just shining, because you are working on yourself, that you are bettering yourself and you are bettering yourself within this relationship, and you are shining and you are glowing and you are happy and you're having these new feelings, and you're recognizing those things when you maybe self-sabotaging, that you don't do that anymore, and you're feeling happy and you're making your wishes and your dreams come true, and you're feeling sturdy and safe within this relationship. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.